これがハージ村名産の野も芋ですか。
サリムさんのような貴族のお口に合うかどうかは分かりませんが。
パサッとしてもそっとしてこんな口が乾く感触は初めてだ。しかし、おいしい。
Hey guys, today we'll be making every potato dish from the anime Black Clover. I've spent a long time on this video, so if you like it, I'd appreciate if you could hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. I've been watching a lot of Black Clover lately, and I gotta say, this anime is amazing. I love the world building, different characters, and all the different types of magic. But one of the things I love most has to be the food, especially in Hagi village. I can't help but admire the different potato dishes that they have come up with. That's why I decided to make this video. For those wondering, where did I get the list of all the different potato dishes? Well, in episode 3, Sister Lily gives a list of different potato dishes like stew, roasted, boiled, and many more. Most of this video will be based on that list. A few episodes later, a dinner is made for a noble where most of the dishes which Sister Lily listed were made. So we'll start by recreating that dinner, and at the end of the video, I'll make 3 extra dishes from other episodes. For those who don't want to watch me create all the dishes, don't worry, in the description I've left timestamps along with the full recipes of each dish, so check it out. The first dish we'll make are the boiled potatoes. This is as simple as it can get when it comes to cooking potatoes. We'll start by peeling some potatoes. After that, cut them to roughly equal sizes. Then, we'll go and boil a pot of water which has been salted heavily. Once the water is boiling, add the potatoes. Let them boil for about 15 to 20 minutes. Once they're fork tender, strain them. Plate them and add some salt. There's not much I can say about these. They're just simple boiled potatoes. The next dish we'll be making are the mashed potatoes. We'll start with some boiled potatoes. I personally like to use a potato masher to make it more smooth. After we've mashed them, we'll make a flavoring liquid. To make this liquid, we'll add butter to a pan. Once the butter is melted, we'll add minced garlic and let it fry in the butter. To that, we'll add milk and heavy cream. Mix it all and add 2 bay leaves. Let it cook for 5 minutes on a low heat and add it to the mashed potatoes. Mix it with a silicone spatula. Once mixed, add some chives to the mashed potatoes. We are now done. Time to plate. We'll lay down the mashed potatoes, sprinkle some chives and black pepper on top, then finish it with parsley, just like in the anime. This recipe is delicious. If you want a great mashed potato recipe, then you should definitely try this one. The next recipe are the fried potato balls. These are a great way to use leftover mashed potatoes. We'll start by chopping up some parsley and chives. Then, we'll take the leftover mashed potatoes, add salt, panko breadcrumbs, and the chopped parsley and chives. Mix them all together. Once they're nicely mixed, add an egg to make them bind together. We'll now make some balls with this mixture. I use my hand to roll them into the shape of balls. Once we've formed all of them, we'll need 3 vessels, one filled with flour, one with beaten eggs, and one filled with panko breadcrumbs. Take one of the balls and put them into the flour. Then, dip it into the eggs. Finish it by coating it with the panko breadcrumbs. Do this for all the potato balls. Now, it's time to fry them. Fill a pan with vegetable oil. Then, heat it to 180 Celsius. Once the temperature has been reached, put in the potato balls. Fry them until they're golden brown, like this. Take them all out and plate them nicely. These potato balls were delicious. They were crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. The next dish we're making are roasted potatoes. These taste heavenly. Probably my favorite from this video. First, add some water and salt to a pan and bring it to a boil. Then, add baking soda. This helps with breaking down the potatoes, which will make them very crispy later on. Add some chopped peeled potatoes to the water. Once the potatoes are cooked through, strain them. Then, we'll put these strained potatoes into a bowl. To that bowl, we'll add some flavor. In my case, olive oil, thyme, and crushed garlic. Give it a nice and rough mix. You want to have a lot of rough edges on the potatoes. Spread it out over an oiled baking sheet. Then, put it into an oven at 220 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes, flipping them halfway through. After the 40 minutes, they'll eventually become crispy, like this. Put the potatoes on a plate and dig in. These potatoes are awesome. They're crispy, soft, and have a ton of flavor. The next dish will be steamed potatoes. I prefer these as an alternative to boiled potatoes. They taste quite similar, but more nutritious. They're very simple to make. We'll need some baby potatoes and a steaming basket. Put the baby potatoes in the steaming basket, get a pan and fill it with water. Heat the water on a medium heat until it simmers. Once the water is simmering, put the steaming basket with potatoes on top. I let mine sit for about 15 minutes. After that, the potatoes were fork tender. Plate the steamed potatoes into a bowl. Once the potatoes were in a bowl, I added some toothpicks to make them look like the anime. So yeah, those are the steamed potatoes. They're very simple and I think more delicious and better than the boiled potatoes. The next dish will also be very simple. We'll be making baked potatoes. First, we'll wash our potatoes thoroughly since we'll eat the skin as well. Get a sheet of aluminium foil and put the potato on top. Then, take some olive oil and rub the potatoes down with it. Once that's done, we'll put some holes into the potato with a fork. That's it. Now wrap the potatoes in the foil, put them on a tray and pop them into a 180 degrees Celsius oven for 1 hour. After that, take the potatoes out of the foil. Be careful, I almost burned my hands a few times. Once I took them all out, I cut the ends off to make them look more like the anime. These are very nice. They pair well with some whipped cream, cheddar cheese, or chives. The next recipe is an all-time favorite, even in the Black Clover world, the French fries. First, we'll take some peeled potatoes and cut them. I like my French fries like I like my woman, extra thick, so don't cut them too thin. Once the fries have been cut, we'll have to wash the starch off. This is to make them extra crispy. Once they've been washed, we'll heat some frying oil to 135 Celsius. We'll put the fries in so that we blanch them for about 5 minutes. Once that's done, we'll take them out and lay them on a sheet to rest. After that, we'll fry them a second time, this time at 175 Celsius. This is where they will become very crispy. Once they're beautiful golden brown, like this, take them out and serve them. Put some salt on them. That's it, the French fries. These are very delicious. The next recipe are the stir-fried potatoes. This dish is very famous in many parts of China. To start off, we'll cut the potatoes very thinly. It's important that you cut them like this because otherwise they won't cook through. Dice a chili pepper, some garlic, and a spring onion stem. Wash the starch off the potatoes. You want almost no starch because you don't want the potatoes to stick in the stir fry. Add some vegetable oil to a wok pan. We'll add the aromatics we diced earlier. Then we'll add the potatoes and let them cook. Don't forget to stir constantly. After about 4 to 5 minutes of cooking, add rice vinegar. Cook for 1 to 2 more minutes till the potatoes are cooked through and plate them. This recipe is very easy, cheap and delicious. The next recipe will be the grilled potatoes. It didn't turn out the way I want to. It was very cold outside, so I couldn't use my grill. I had to resort to this pan with grill marks. First, cut the potatoes very thinly. You want very thin slices so they can cook through. Then, we'll add a high heat cooking oil to the grill pan. Once the pan is at a very high temperature, we'll add the potatoes. We'll let them cook until they're golden brown on both sides, like this. Once the potatoes are done, we'll plate them. Add some salt and dig in. These taste like potato chips. They're nice, but I would have liked to try making them on the grill, so that's unfortunate. The next recipe will be the tempura potatoes. For this recipe, we'll be using sweet potatoes. This is because tempura potatoes are almost always made with sweet. We'll first start by peeling them. Then, we'll slice the potatoes, not too thin. We'll take the sweet potatoes and coat them in some cornstarch. After that, we'll make a tempura batter, which is basically water, salt, and flour. First, some water and salt, then we'll slowly add the flour. We'll mix it. You don't want a too thick consistency. It should coat the back of a spoon, but easily go away as well. Then, we'll dip the potatoes into the batter. You want a nice coating of batter. Afterwards, we'll take a pan and fill it with frying oil. Once the oil gets the temperature, we'll add the coated potatoes. After about 10 minutes, the potatoes will have a nice color on them and they will be done. We'll take the potatoes out and plate them. Usually, I don't like sweet potatoes, but I think these tempura potatoes turned out very well, so that's nice. The next dish we'll be making is the potato stew. This dish is perfect for cold winters. Start by chopping up some onions, garlic, tomatoes, red bell peppers, and lots of mushrooms and potatoes. I also got these Italian sausages, which I think will add a nice touch to this dish. Slice the skin and get out the sausage meat. Get a large pan. Add some olive oil, followed by the onions. Stir until the onions are translucent. Then add the sausage meat. Mix it up until the onions are coated by the meat. Add the bell peppers, then all of the mushrooms. After about 5 minutes, the mushrooms will shrink a lot in size. This is when we'll be adding the tomatoes. Stir until it has cooked for about 5 minutes. Then add canned peeled tomatoes, which I've personally mashed. Once the tomatoes have been added, it's starting to look a lot more like a stew. Transfer the stew to an oven-safe pan. Place in the potatoes one by one. Put the potatoes into a 180-degree oven for about 30 minutes, or until the potatoes are cooked through. After 30 minutes, the stew is done and we could start plating. I added some of the liquid, then I plated the potatoes. To finish it off, I added some sliced black olives that I cut by hand. I think these turned out very nice. They look just like in the anime. The next dish will be the last from the nobles' dinner, the potato pie. We'll start with some onions, followed by sausage meat again. Then we'll add mushrooms and stir until they reduce in size. To finish, we'll add thinly sliced potatoes instead of thick ones. Add canned peeled tomatoes again, and stir the mixture for about 15 minutes until the potatoes have cooked through. Once they're finished cooking, I put them in a plate and let them rest for a bit. Now, we'll make a pie crust. Get some puff pastry and roll it into the size of your pie form. Once it's the right size, put it on it. We'll then cover it with foil. On top of the foil, we'll put some rice. This will act as a pie weight. Put it in the oven for 20 minutes at 200 Celsius so that the pie crust can pre-bake. Then, we'll take it out. We'll throw away the rice and the aluminium foil. What we're left with is this beautiful pie crust. Put the potato filling into the pie. We'll now take some puff pastry and cut some stripes out of it. From this, we'll make a pie lattice for on top. Once we've got the stripes, we'll take the pie and put the stripes side by side. We'll then take 3 stripes, pull them back, and put 1 stripe perpendicular to these. Roll back the stripes again, then roll back the other 3 we didn't do earlier and put a stripe perpendicular again. Do this until we've got a beautiful pie lattice like this. I had 2 puff pastry stripes over, which I rotated and decorated the sides with. We'll then take some egg wash and brush the top of it so it becomes golden brown once baked. Put the pie into an oven at 230 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. After that, it should become beautifully golden brown, like this. Get yourself a nice slice and put it on a plate. I think that this pie is a nice finish to the nobles' dinner. We'll now move on to the 3 final dishes which were from different episodes. The next dish we're making are the potato patties. These were shown being eaten by the black bulls. Start by grating potatoes and some onions. Add those to a bowl. We'll take a paper towel and squeeze out as much liquid as we can. In a separate bowl will be 2 eggs. To that, add the grated potatoes and onions. We'll mix these up and add panko breadcrumbs. Then, we'll get our hands dirty and mix them all up. We should now be able to form patties. Form as many patties as you can. Then, we'll get a cooking pan and heat some cooking oil. When the cooking oil is 190 Celsius, we'll put in the patties. Cook them for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, or until we get a beautifully golden brown color like this. My patties were not as dry and flaky as in the anime, but they were definitely crispy and delicious. The next dish we're making is the potato pudding which Sister Lily had made. We'll start by mashing some boiled potatoes. Add sugar to them, followed by butter. Mix it up until it's all homogeneous. In a separate bowl, add flour followed by milk. Mix it up and add it to the potato mixture. Whisk them together until they're nicely combined. In another bowl, beat 3 eggs and add vanilla extract to them. Mix them and add it to the potatoes. To the potato, add lots of milk. Mix it until the consistency resembles that of a pancake batter. Pour it all into an oven-safe plate and put it into a 180 degrees Celsius oven for 45 minutes, or until the top is golden like this. The potato pudding is now done. I took a slice and added some maple syrup. And to be honest, I made this dish as a joke, but in all honesty, it turned out a lot better than I expected. So now for the final dish of this video, the potato juice. We'll take some sliced potatoes along with some water and put it into a blender. Then we'll blend it up and pour it into a glass. That's it. Potato juice. So delicious. I'm sorry, but this is just disgusting. I almost puked. So yeah, that was it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe.